We are going to learn how to connect the Oracle external database to our instantID. Okay, now I'm signing the application. So these are my workflows. Okay, first I have to download the Oracle in my PC. Okay, so which is there are multiple versions in Oracle. So we are downloading the free version, which is Express. Okay, now I'm clicking this Express download. Okay, see here the current version is Oracle Database 21C Express. Okay, so I'm downloading this. So here it is downloading. So now it is downloaded. I'm going to this folder. Okay, I'm extracting this here in my downloads. If you want another location, you can extract. Okay, so here the files are extracting. So now the file is extracted, right? Right here you can see there is a setup.exe. You have to click this as run as administrator. Okay, you should remember setup.exe. This is the file you have to install install the Oracle SQL. Now click next. Accept these terms and conditions. Click next. If you want to change the any other location, you can change, but it is currently now configured with the C drive. So click. So here you should enter your remembered password. Okay, whatever it is, this based on your criteria. So I am entering FID123 for example. If you want other password, you can enter the other password. So this password used to be login the Oracle SQL. Okay, make sure it should be remembered. So now it is installing. It will take some time. Okay.
Now the Oracle is installed. Just click the finish button there. Okay, after that it will boot. So just search SQL plus. Okay, SQL plus, open this, and here you have to enter username as a system. Okay, after that you have to enter the password which we entered right while installing the application, which is FID123, which is I entered the password, right? You have to enter this password to log in this SQL place. Okay, now the login is successful. You have to check whether it is connected or not, so it will give this output which is connected to Oracle Database 21C Express Edition released into production as version. Also you can see currently it is 21.3.0.0.0, which is Oracle version currently. Now the Oracle SQL is completely installed. SQL server, Oracle SQL server. Now you have to download the Oracle developer tool. The developer tool, which is nothing but an UI, which will allow you to interact with the user interface in the database mode. Okay, so then you can see everything which is entered in the system. Password will not be visible due to some security concerns. The passwords will be blocks. It will show as a blank, but it will take the input, okay, in the command prompts. Okay, make sure this should be properly connected. Okay, minimize this. Now we are going to download the developer tool here. Okay, now we have to search, close this tab and search Oracle is developer free developer version. Okay, just click here. Here you can see you have to always download the Windows 64-bit with the JDK tool, because the JDK tool will allow you to interact with the framework of the Oracle interface. Okay, so click the download one. Okay, you have many options, but you have to, and sometimes you can see there is a 64-bit. Do not download this without JDK. If you have JDK, they can download the Windows 32-bit 64. If you don't have a JDK, you have to always download 64-bit with the JDK. JDK means Java Development Kit. Okay, this is the framework which will allow you to interact with the user interface with the Oracle database. Okay, always should be remembered. Okay, Windows 64-bit with JDK 11 included. Make sure that has to be downloaded. So now the file is downloaded. Now we can open this application now. So here you have to extract this folder. Okay, extract. Now it is extracting. Okay, it will take some while time. Okay, I'm pausing in between the video because the video should not be get more length. That's why I'm pausing sometimes while extracting and copying files. So now it is extracting, right?
Oh yes. Please. It's extracting. Relax. Oh, sorry.
Now click the SQL developer. Here you have to always select the SQL developer.exe file. Okay, just click the right click and click run as an administrator. Okay, this is a tool which will interact with the Oracle SQL server, which is a user interface. So it will open like this. So earlierly I have connected with the database, which is already, I think I do have a few previous files. In your case it will be open as a fresh. So here, which is automatically connected, if in that manually it will ask to connect this system. Okay, here there is a system, right? It will ask manually to connect. Okay, while that you have to enter that system user and system that password which is we entered, right? FID123, that password should be entered, then it will connect like this. So here you can see the many properties, tables and everything. Okay, so now the SQL setup is completed here, right? So there's you can add more connections if you want. Okay, which is already connected. Actually I'm just giving an example. If you want to new connection, like if you open this application first time, so you should will ask like this window, you have to fill that. Okay, then click the refresh and other tools also available. Just close this, click here, and here you can see lot of information there. Here if you wanted to know about the which is the system which is already connected, right? If you want to like make sure with a new user, if you wanted to enter that username and password, it will connect. Okay, so if you wanted to know the existing one which is already connected, right, in the system, you wanted to know about that, just right click that system and go to the properties. Okay, so I'm clicking as right now, as I'm just clicking the right click properties. here you can see these are all the credentials it requires. Okay, the system, which is the schema name. Okay, now it is completed. The SQL installation is completed. Now we are going to connect the external database to the instantID now. Okay, now again opening the properties. Here this is my schema name, which is a username, which is a password. Okay, I am re-entering my password FID123 if it is required. Okay, these are credentials should be the Navin. Host name will be like a local host. First if you install your application, right, so it will look like this. Okay, it will give the host name as a local host. So on that time you have to change that host name into localhost. First click the CMD and open and click the host name there. Okay, now click the host name. Now you can see my host name is Navin, right? Just copy that. So minimize, and here you have to enter this host name as a Navin because it will fetch the local system. And the port ID you can see 1521, and also SID in the server ID. Okay, which is XE, which is defaultly came. Okay, just click the test and you can see the success here. So I'm connecting my external database to here. So now I wanted to connect, right? So open here settings, and here click question symbol. What are the details I have to take the URL? Okay, how to connect there will be a connection string, right? I wanted to know the connection string of the Oracle SQL in my instantID application. So I'm clicking manage data source. I'm clicking again database. I'm clicking Oracle database URL formats. Here you can see multiple URL formats. Here now I am selecting a new syntax, which is a JDBC Oracle thin at host name of port number and service name or service ID. Make sure this should be shared with the client. Okay, if you wanted to connect with the Oracle external database, you have to make sure that should be shared with the client. So just copy here.
Has no one got in touch with you?
Okay,
Okay.
now here in the local host I have to enter as a Navin
They'll call you.
because
They'll
he is
call
my
you.
local host, right? So just copy here and come to notepad and paste here the notepad as Navin and the port number 1521. Okay, So here click this. The port number should be changed. Okay, the port number is 1521, right?
Reply back
Yes,
to that email.
and the service
Say,
ID, service name or a service ID. Now my service ID is XE. Just copy the XE
he
here
said he will call. He's in a
and
meeting,
paste
he will
it
call you.
here.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು
Okay, this is my credential should be enrolled. Okay, it should be shared by the client itself if they have one database team, right? So here you can see which is already entered in my notepad. I am just cross checking over and again. Once again cross check it. So everything which is properly correct, make sure it should be correct. Okay, and also remember the username and password of that. Okay, now I am closing this. I am opening my application. Now I have to click the data source there. Click the data source and click the create, and here just mention I'm just mentioning whatever the name which I want. So I'm just mentioning force ID Oracle DB. Okay, now select here as a Oracle. Here you have to select properties there, not a URL. Just select the properties. Okay, make sure you should be connected with Oracle. The server which is mentioned, right, that is Navin. Okay, the local host is the server. Okay, now the port which is mentioned, right, what is the port in the notepad which is already there? Just copy that 1521, the port number. This is the user like server ID, this is the port ID. Okay, now I am copying this port ID. So I am pasting here the SID, service name. Okay, the service name, what is my service name is lost XE. I am just copying this XE and pasting here, I am entering my user ID and password, which is system. My user ID is a system. Okay, here you can see my schema, which is system, the user ID, the password which I entered, right, FIDB 123, that is the password I have to enter there. Click the save and close this. Make sure you have to be enter the correct credentials while you establishing a database connectivity. Now I am entering system. Now I am entering my password, which is FID123. So I am just clicking the test connection. So the connection was successful. Then click that, check out this tick box there, make this primary database, click it and click save. Now the Oracle database which is configured in my instantID application. So just close, just minimize this one also, minimize this. Now what you can do is just restart the application server first. Okay, I'm just saving these credentials for further use. Now restart the application server there. Here you can see shut down and start there. Run as an administrator. So the application services will restart. Whenever every database you are connecting, right, you have to restart the server once, the application service. Click this yes. So the application services were stopping and again it will restart. Make sure you have to run these services, okay, while you connecting an external database performing the operations. So now the application services is restarted. Now I am reloading my application. Now the application is loaded. Now I am logging into the application. So first thing I have to identify what are the templates I do have. For every template I have to create a new table in the Oracle backend database. Okay. So first I have to identify what are the entities I have to create the columns in a database. The employee designation, employee ID, employee name. And one more thing, which is photo field. There are 4 entities in this template. Okay. I have to create 4 columns in my external database. So you have to always create a tables first, then only it will map. So click here in the system, click the tables and right click new table. Here the same as like a MS SQL, just give the table name as currently I am giving FID BLR. Okay. So now the schema, which is system. Okay, column name, first I will enter ID, employee ID. So make sure it should not contain any spaces. Okay, it will throw an error, see. So you should not contain any spaces in between while creating the columns. Just remove that column. And here the varchar should be varchar if you have integers. If some of the numbers, if they have a mobile number, in the sense you have to enter the number, and according to size you have to give. What are the data type they need to be entered, right? You just Google it, in the Google you can find it. What are the database need to be select for this particular data in a data type. Okay. So there are a number of data types you can see. So I am selecting as a varchar 2, as I am giving a size 20, in the sense like I do have a 80 up to goes 80 in my employee ID. So I am just giving an 80 for that if it is required. Okay, I am just giving the 50 now. I wanted to make this as a primary key. This is the unique, right? It should not be null, because the primary key, which is employee ID, because employee ID is different from any other ones. Okay. So here the column I am entering name, employee name. Here the varchar, and the employee name should be goes with 80 words. So okay. Again I will create one more column, and the employee name is completed, right? Now employee designation. So employee designation also same thing you have to create. So then the employee designation will go up to 80 words. So I am just entering 80. So now I have to store the image, right? One more column I have to create, the storing the employee photo. Employee photo. So basically, what is the data type I have to select, right, for the image? So simple. If you don't know how to select the database to the particular data, just Google it. Okay, which is I already Googled it. What is the data type we need to select for the photo? Okay, just click the Oracle. Either you can see int or long, which is the, because the photo will store into the binary format, not in a photo format. Okay, or a JPG PNG format. It will converted into the binary format. So I am selecting as a long there. So I am selecting as a long now. So just Control S. Okay, so after that everything is saved, right? Just click the OK. So this should be, make sure should be identified the table name. Okay, FIDBLR I am mentioning again. Click the OK. Now the table is created. Just refresh everything, whatever the thing which is done, right, changes, you have to always refresh with the load. Okay, here you can see FIDBLR, the table which is created. In the table, the columns you can see employee ID, name and designation. Refresh it and close this and open the application and close this and come to instantID. Here I have to map this application because I have already created the table in Oracledatabase backendly, so I have to map into my credentials. Okay, so then what I need to be select, click the design there, field connections. If you not come to home, so I have to map this Mahindra template. Okay, Mahindra workflow. So click the field connection. Here I have to properly make sure, you have to be aware of that which workflow I am connecting with the database. Okay, so click Mahindra there. So I am just clicking Mahindra because I am mapping the database to the Mahindra workflow. So here the credential design, here the system schema which is already connected, and here FIDBLR, the table name. Here you can see the system. This is my schema which is visible, right? In the under schema you can see FIDBLR, same that in the application also visible. Okay, so this is my system schema. Okay, now I am selecting FIDBLR there. So I am just mapping the tables here. Okay, the columns, sorry. So employee ID, employee name, so employee photo. After that click the save, click home. So now the database fields will connected to the columns. Now I am enrolling the data. So employee name, designation which is HR, and employee ID which is, I am just giving a random. Okay, so employee name which is giving Thief Pasha. Now I am clicking next. I want to fetch the image, right, in the local system, so I am giving an image which is stored in my local PC. So click Mahi folder, I am clicking and just selecting one random image there. I am just clicking next, finish. Then align with the images as per the cropping standards. Click next and click save there. So the data which will stored into the database. Okay, if you wanted to check how the data will be stored, right, so here FIDBLR is the table. Okay, in the table the data which is stored. Okay, now I have to open this and you can see there will be a little bit messy in that, so just close this. And now what you can do is so here I can't see any options like MS SQL. Now I wanted to open that tool section there. Okay, so here you can't see anything. Okay, you can see many of them. You can rename it either column name, copy, lagging, and every options you can see. Just explore if you have a time. Okay, so I wanted to know how the data is stored. Just click tools and click tools and SQL worksheet. So this will be a query executor. Just click here and I am selecting as a query. So I am writing in a query. Query is nothing but to fetch the database, like it is a language to fetch the backend data which is stored in the table. So you can, if you have any queries, right? SQL regarding the queries, you can openly search it, whatever the data types you want, what are the table. So randomly based on that you have to give search the query in a Google. Okay, now I wanted to open entire data which is stored in that, right? So I am giving select star from FADBLR, the table name. So it will fetch entire data which is stored into the table. Okay, if you want a particular data, there will be a separate dedicated queries. Always should be remember, you should give a semicolon before executing a query. Okay, just run this. Here you can see the data which is came and stored here. So make sure if you have any doubts in the queries, you can go through the Google and you can see multiple queries if you want. Okay, based on that you can alter it. You can either you wanted to learn a basic SQL queries, it is available in YouTube's. So here you can see the Atif Pasha data which is stored. So here you can see Atif Pasha, employee ID, employee designation, and the photo. Everything is came and stored. So I wanted to research it again, like if I searching the data which is visible or not. Okay, based on that I can search it. If you wanted to connect with other fields, okay, now I wanted to connect with the extra, not an extra, sorry. So if you wanted to do, always remove the primary keys, okay, because we have already configured the primary keys, okay, in the database backend. So I wanted to connect with a new field like which is already configured, right? So I wanted to remove the primary key because I have created the primary key in a database backend. So no required here. Search configuration, clicks remove this primary key and click save there, and come to new slim. You should select that. After that, so now click the save and come to that new slim and select it, just tick it and delete. That's it. Click save and click home. Now you wanted to map the fields, right? In the image I have given other data type, okay, it will not configure. Make sure it should not be like that. So I am giving a new slim here, there, the design which is backendly connected. Now I wanted to connect with the FADBLR, right, table. So in the table I am mapping again columns, same like you have to map the columns. Okay, make sure you are properly mapping the columns, if not data will get mess. Here the employee photo will not store because I have given some other data while creating this new slim gym. That's why it's not taking the proper. You can see the select field have incompletable data, therefore cannot be processed. So it is another one actually. So that's why it is visible. So I am again coming back to the basics. So I don't want to save changes and but just click. So now the data which is stored, right, which is properly the pipelines were connected, just click save and come to home. I wanted to search the data which is stored right in the backend. I have to pull the data. So just click search here. Here you can see the data which is came and you can load it and directly you can give the print. This is how the database will works. Okay, just log out. Again I'm logging the application. So if you have a custom searches, you can directly search it. Okay, thank you. I think this video will helpful how to connect with the Oracle database to instant ID. Thank you.